We dated for 3 years. I spent $60,000 on our dream wedding. Then she said, "I never loved you. You're just not my type." So I gave her the ending she never saw coming. My name's Lucas. I'm 32 years old, living in Austin, Texas, and I work in finance. A career that's treated me fairly well over the years. I'm not flashy or over the top, but I've built a stable life for myself, the kind you think would be the foundation for a strong marriage. That's what I thought. Anyway, 3 years ago, I met Sophia at a friend's birthday party. She was vibrant, charismatic, the kind of person who lit up a room without trying. She had just finished grad school in marketing, doing freelance work while figuring out her next step in life. We hit it off immediately. Conversations flowed effortlessly, laughter came naturally, and before I knew it, we were dating. In the beginning, everything felt like a dream. Late-night talks, weekend road trips, cooking together, planning a future that seemed so promising. It wasn't a relationship that screamed drama or chaos. Quite the opposite. It was steady, comfortable, and full of mutual respect, or so I believed. I wouldn't say I ignored red flags because honestly, I didn't see any. Sophia didn't come from money, and that never bothered me. I've always believed that love shouldn't feel like a business transaction or a balance sheet. I make good money, and I never thought twice about covering expenses. Dinners, vacations, birthday gifts, even helping with her rent during COVID. I did it because I loved her, not because I expected anything in return. By our second year together, she moved into my condo. I paid the mortgage, utilities, groceries, all of it. She offered to pitch in occasionally, maybe grab some household items or treat me to lunch here and there, but I declined. To me, that's what you do when you're building a life together. You give without keeping score. Eventually, we started talking about marriage. It wasn't a grand conversation, more like gentle moments where she'd mention what kind of dress she'd want, or how she always imagined a vineyard wedding. Last year, I finally proposed. I took her to the very vineyard she always talked about, got down on one knee, and asked her to spend forever with me. She cried, said yes, threw her arms around me like she meant every word. From that moment on, it was full steam ahead. We set the wedding date for early summer, and Sophia went into full planning mode. She wanted it all: the vineyard venue, the designer dress, gourmet catering, a live jazz band, custom invitations, the whole fairy tale. I wasn't big on weddings, honestly, but I wanted her to have what she dreamed of. I told her I'd pay for everything. In total, I spent close to $60,000. That's not a flex, it's just the reality. Cleaned out most of my savings, but I didn't care. I thought, this is worth it. This is forever. And then, just 10 days before the wedding, everything fell apart. Sophia sat me down on our couch one evening. Her eyes weren't red. She wasn't shaking. She didn't even seem sad. She just looked detached, like she was delivering a business presentation. She took a deep breath and said, "Lucas, I need to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever really been in love with you." At first, I thought maybe it was nerves, cold feet. But then she kept talking, calm, blunt, detached. "You're a good man, Lucas. You're kind. You're stable. But you're just not my type. I don't feel that thing with you." I sat there, frozen. Then why were you with me for 3 years? Why say yes to the proposal? Why let me spend all this money? I asked, my voice quiet but unsteady. She shrugged. That's when she said it, the words that will echo in my mind for years. "That's your problem, not mine."
No επάλεγει, no regret.
Just cruel indifference. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. But something in me hardened. I didn't let her see it. But I knew right then, I was going to give her the ending she deserved. The next morning, she was gone. Probably staying at her sister's. She took a few bags, but most of her things were still in the condo. The wedding was just 9 days away. Guests were already booking flights. Vendors were prepping. Everything was paid for. I sat at the kitchen table for over an hour, thinking not about her, not even about love, but about how she used me. How she walked away like it was just another Tuesday, like I was a line item on her budget, and how she thought there would be no consequences. That's when I opened my laptop. First, I called the venue and told them the wedding was canceled due to infidelity. A slight stretch, but I knew it'd help in negotiating refunds. I contacted every vendor, photographer, florist, DJ, and explained the situation. Many agreed to partial refunds. The catering company was the only one who refused. They'd already started prepping for 120 guests. Fine, I told them. Keep prepping. Next, I contacted my side of the guest list. Family, friends, co-workers. I told them the wedding was off, that Sophia had called it off and I'd explain more soon. I didn't say anything to her guests. Then, I logged into our joint wedding website, the one with RSVP info, registry links, and a personalized About Us section. I had full access. I changed the homepage. It now read, "The wedding is still on. Join us for a celebration of fresh starts and exposed truths." In the About Us section, I wrote, "Sophia recently informed me that I'm not her type and that she's never really loved me. After 3 years together, and after I covered every expense for this wedding, she decided to tell me 10 days before the ceremony that I was never really what she wanted. So rather than waste a perfectly good night, come join me for an evening of drinks, food, and one final story you'll never forget." I posted screenshots of our texts. The breakup, her admission that she never loved me, her "that's your problem, not mine" message. I created a private Instagram account and linked it to the website. Then I invited 15 of my closest friends to follow it, encouraging them to spread the word quietly, discreetly. No public drama, just whispered truths that would eventually reach everyone who needed to hear it. Sophia had no idea. She still thought I'd cancel everything, crawl into a corner, and nurse my wounds in silence. She texted me once about picking up the rest of her things. I said no rush. She said she'd swing by over the weekend. I said that works. She didn't ask about the wedding. I didn't bring it up. She wasn't just cruel. She was careless. That worked in my favor. I made sure vendors knew not to speak to her directly. After all, everything was in my name. And then, the night of the event arrived. The vineyard looked exactly as Sophia had imagined. Twinkling lights wrapped around oak trees. Floral arches framing the courtyard. Soft jazz floating in the air. Guests began arriving dressed for a wedding. They were greeted not by a planner, but by me, standing near the bar in a charcoal suit, calm smile on my face. People were confused but polite. I told them it'd all make sense soon. Sophia's side arrived around 6:30. Her parents, her cousins, friends from college. They looked around, perplexed. Then Sophia arrived. She stepped out of a black SUV wearing her wedding dress. She looked stunning. But that expression on her face when she realized something was off? Priceless.
No brides mais.
No processional music. Just guests holding cocktails and whispering. She stormed toward me. "Lucas, what the hell is going on?" I gestured to the stage. "Come with me. Let's talk." I stepped onto the stage and tapped the mic. "Hey everyone. Thanks for coming. I know you were expecting a wedding tonight. And in a way, you'll still get one. Just not the one Sophia planned." I looked over at her. Her face had lost all color. Sophia told me just over a week ago that she never loved me, that I wasn't her type, that after 3 years together, after I spent $60,000 on this wedding, she decided she was done. And when I asked why she let me go this far, she told me, "That's your problem, not mine." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Some people looked at her. Others looked at me. I continued, "So rather than let all this go to waste, I decided to turn this into a celebration, not of love but of truth, because sometimes the truth is all you have." I turned to the projection screen. My friend hit play on a short video, screenshots of texts, photos of our relationship, Sophia wearing jewelry I bought her, laughing on vacations I paid for, and finally the breakup message where she ended things like canceling a gym membership. Sophia stood frozen. Then she turned and stormed off. Her mother tried to chase her, but she shook her off and kept walking. She didn't even make it to the parking lot. One of her friends drove her away, still in the wedding dress. I stayed, talked with guests, laughed, even The bartender kept pouring. People came up to me saying it was wild, brave, cathartic. I felt calm. Not vindicated, just free. 2 days later, Sophia texted me. You humiliated me. How could you do that? I replied, you told me I was never loved, that I was just your problem. I gave you the closure you gave me. Public, cold, and final. She never responded again. Last I heard, she moved back in with her parents. A few of her friends cut contact after the event. Apparently, they had no idea what really happened. I don't regret what I did. It wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. She treated me like a credit card with feelings. I gave her a mirror. So tell me honestly, was I wrong? Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more stories just like this one.